Radio Labyrinth. This is Season 8, Episode 31. Isn't that amazing? 31 episodes. Before we get started, I'd like to say thank you to our Patreon members. You could become a Patreon member if you go to patreon.com/Tim Andrews. And, just sign up and you could be a producer at the $25 level. That'll get you a t-shirt, a printout, and a signed printout of one of my doodles. It's not a picture of my wiener, but that would be a noodle. So thank you to our producers, Brian and Chelsea Smith, Jeff Peterson, Jim Fortner, Terry Fuller, Tim Slayton, Chris Chandler, Roby Neely, Kevin Jackson, Mike D, and Matt Carter. Thank you very, very much. And by the way, if you're watching this on YouTube, please like and subscribe if somebody sent it to you, and share it with your friends if you're already a liker and a subscriber, and turn on the notification. Last week's episode was amazing, Dustin. Great job.
Thank you. You love me. You really love me.
Oh, yeah. Especially the close-up on Redbox. I think everybody loves that.
When he zoomed in on him and he's all yellow and shit.
That rape shot that he took.
Like when E.T. was all white at the end of the movie.
He will not be making an appearance on this week's episode of the Radio Labyrinth podcast, but he will be back next week, I swear. He got bit by a copperhead snake.
No.
Snake?
Snakes. Why did it have to be snakes?
Snakes everywhere.
No.
He did. I killed my second copperhead snake, but we're not going to do a whole thing about that. This one I beat to death with a shovel and cut its head off with a machete.
And did you say thank you for your life and everything when you did that?
No. I felt bad. And then I noticed, though, that usually when I sit in my carport, I usually see about, 10 chipmunks. And I haven't seen a chipmunk in about a week and a half. And I realize why now.
It's a big snake.
That's a big damn snake.
Maybe they'll come back. They're less scary than a big old copperhead snake.
Well, that's the whole reason. Once he's eaten them all, then he'll probably maybe they'll finally move on.
Well, somebody probably ate him because his carcass was no longer where I threw it. So hopefully the possum got a nice meal.
What happened? Did you just step out of your kitchen door and it was just laying there by Gil's toys?
Well, where the door that I let the dogs out in the backyard. You've been before. I let one of the dogs out. Is he the one-eyed Boston Terrier? And I went out to get her, and I let her back in, and I went to latch the door, and I looked down, and I saw a coiled-up snake. And I saw immediately that it was a copperhead because of the Hershey Kisses. And it was underneath Gil's John Deere tractor, one of those little battery-operated kiddie tractors. Just curled up, and I went, oh!
Oh, my God.
It sounded like I went, oh! And then I got mad at myself for being a baby.
Oh, whatever.
Well, I was looking, I was like, should I get the machete? And I went, no, that's, he can snap up and bite me.
Mm-hmm.
Shovel. And he saw me when I came toward him with the shovel, and he kind of reared back. I took the shovel and I moved the tractor, and then he came out and I whacked him.
Take that, snake. And you too.
Nothing happened. I get whack and whack, because it was a round shovel.
Did you bring the pre-whacked snakes?
Beautiful. So I had to get it perfectly in the middle. And then I hit him, and then I put the shovel on its side when he was stunned and just started sawing him.
Yeah.
And then I figured, it's dead enough, and I got the machete and cut off its head. I felt very mean doing all that because, it's a life. It's an animal.
It is, but it's by your kid's toys, and if Gil would have gotten bit by that snake, he would have had to be life flighted probably.
Probably. And Gil, a snake will let you walk by it. If it doesn't perceive you as a threat, it will not attack you. But if, you're a little kid, you go, oh, look at the thing.
Well, I'm just getting on my tractor, yo.
Yeah.
I don't know there's a snake coiled up underneath it.
This morning I put everything in the basement.
Good.
And, that whole area where that was, there's nothing there. There's some maybe in the corner that could hide under, but we have a new list of rules. Check the paving stones before we go anywhere. Mm-hmm. No more leaving water, because he likes to play in water and he has a little pool, and we just don't leave that out anymore. So rest in peace, Snake, and please, I don't want to see another. Last week's Popcast had a very popular comedian. The Popcast is a radio show I do on WSB every Saturday night at 7 p.m., 95.5 WSB, or on the WSB radio app. It's also a podcast that you can find, primarily an interview show and very Atlanta-centric. But I interviewed a comedian by the name of Leanne Morgan, who prior to accepting the interview, I hadn't really heard of her. And then I started watching her stuff, and she's very funny. And then I found out she's extremely popular.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
And she's going to be playing the Fox Theater on September 23rd and 24th. I'm going on the 24th, taking the wife, and we get to go to the show. And then afterwards, we get to go backstage.
Cool.
With her. I think it's pretty cool. Coming up this week, a guest that we're going to have on here next week, Mr. Dan Carroll will be on to talk about Dragon Con. And that'll be cool. Lots of guests. George Takei is coming. I don't believe I could do the impression of him right now because of my voice. This, by having your nose stuffed up, by the way, really helps with the Biden.
Yeah.
Yeah, I discovered that. We're going to be doing a Halloween party on October 20th.
Hunter Biden, right? Because his nose is stuffed up.
Well, I get that, but no, I mean, George, come on, man. Joe has that thing where he's from the south, Delaware. Anyway, we're Atlanta Pizza and Euro. We're hosting a Halloween party on the 22nd.
October.
Yeah, and we're going to have a lot of fun there. We'll figure out what we're going to do, hopefully have some guests, and hopefully we'll be able to record it. Without further ado, we got to say rest in peace to Robbie Robertson, the guy from the band that none of the members of the band liked.
No.
But he was the only one who didn't have a drug problem, I think. I think Levon Helm probably had a drug problem. Everybody else.
Who is this?
No. Yeah, he looks like Eddie Van Halen, I always thought.
Yeah.
They kind of favor each other a lot.
I have no idea who this is.
You know who the
You
band
don't know the band?
Oh, yeah.
Take a load for free.
Yeah.
Load on Fanny. Shoot your load right on me.
Didn't like it. Never liked it.
What about Virgil Kane is a name and I served on the Danville train.
For sure did not like that. No.
At night they drove old Dixie down.
Nope.
Oh, you like the phony Joni version, Joan Baez, right?
I want to be a singer like Joan Baez.
Ooh, gross. Joan Baez. Ew.
Yeah, Steph and I were coming back from either going to or coming back from that convention a couple of months ago, and I was playing a country mix. She's like, "Can you get this fucking shit off?"
It's the worst music I've ever heard.
Up on Cripple Creek.
Worst versions of every genre of song that you could think of. I'm like, even my papa wouldn't listen to this. What is this?
I love classic country, and you're like, get it off.
I love classic country, but you listen to that shit, it doesn't even have any kind of a get down beat, nothing. It's just, they're just like howling into a steamy night. And there's nothing to it. I don't like it.
Then I put on,
It's Neil Young shit, like the worst Neil Young.
Neil Young? Well, I'm not a big fan of Neil Young Well, no, I like Neil Young. What am I talking about?
What are you talking about? He's like your Elvis. I would by going by the music that you played.
Hey, man, I have varied tastes.
I like jam and band.
Yeah. I would have, this has been the one time when you played Fishbowl, I would have been like, fuck yeah.
So Robbie Robertson died. Another person died before we get to the main one I want to talk about. Oh, yeah, the guy from Breaking Bad died.
No, yeah, Hector.
Yeah.
Hector Salamanca. What was his real name? I forget his name. Bing, bing, bing. He was also in Oz. Do you remember him on Oz? He played an Italian mobster.
Mm-hmm.
Hector Elizondo.
Yes, and he died. What did they do to him on Oz? They fed him broken glass in his food. I think that's how.
Yeah.
Oz was a great show if you've never seen it. If you like penises, you're going to love Oz.
And sweaty upside down wheelchairs.
Yeah.
Mark Margolis is his real name.
Mark Margolis?
Yeah.
Not Hector Salamanca. That's not his real name.
No. Mark Margolis is his real name.
Mark Margolis is his real name.
Hector Elizondo was another.
Hector Elizondo was he passed away too. Yeah.
Oh, Hector Elizondo was we need a Mexican guy. Get Hector Elizondo.
Yeah, exactly.
The guy at the desk in Pretty Woman when they ran the hotel, the concierge. Yeah.
Hector Elizondo is alive.
Good.
I thought it just came out he died.
I don't know.
And that's you, Dustin.
I can't keep between this and Mr. Mustache supposedly dying this week.
Who's Mr. Mustache?
Sam Elliott.
Sam Elliott.
Ooh.
They've been saying he's been dead for like the last week, putting out huge videos online and like
Sam Elliott, latest celebrity targeted viral death hoax.
I'm going to tell you, I'm not dead. I'm just fine. I haven't had any water that will give me some sort of disease, like on that show. I haven't been bit by a rattlesnake. And I haven't been shot by any of the cowboys. So I'm doing all right. Back to
You know what it is? It's all these people just finished watching 1883 because they showed it on actual TV.
I'm really alive. By the way, what the hell happened with Yellowstone? I got to tell you, man, Kevin Costner's got some shit going on in his life. Anyway, rest in peace to director, filmmaker William Friedkin. Who is William Friedkin? Well, he only made two of the best movies in the 1970s. One of them being The French Connection, which was in the news recently because they cut out all the N-words. Every time Gene Hackman says no, they cut it out. Popeye Doyle was a racist cop, and his partner was probably also a racist. So to make sure that early 1970s racism doesn't creep into the modern culture, they cut the scenes out of a fucking great movie. So if you ever see The French Connection, there's a scene where they're in the bar roughing a guy up. You probably won't see that scene, so you have to get it on DVD or something. Not that that would be the thing, but I don't like it. Let's drawing a mustache on the Mona Lisa or just painting over her eyes. But anyway, William Friedkin directed The French Connection. He directed The Exorcist. Now, I put notable ones in here, and I guess I was cock-blocked at the end. But anyway, Cruising, which is one of Jeff's favorite William Friedkin movies. Cruising starred Al Pacino and Karen Allen and Paul Sorvino. Deal of the Century, which is an absolute shitty movie that I watched probably way more than I should have. Chevy Chase, Gregory Hines, and Sigourney Weaver.
Eddie Murphy.
That's Best Defense.
Oh, yes, I was confused.
Also a shitty movie, and pretty much the premise. 11% on Rotten Tomatoes. To Live and Die in L.A., which is a very underrated film.
Yeah, that's
Love that
awesome.
movie.
That's a great movie. Yeah.
Yeah, William Peterson, Willem Dafoe, real good movie. Sort of using the style that he used when he made The French Connection, but that's really the first time you see Willem Dafoe. He plays a creepy guy who's counterfeiting money. But it's a good movie. If you've never seen it, rent it. And that Wang Chung song, I like Wang Chung.
And it's over the top. It's an over the top movie.
Yeah, that's one I used to have on tape, and when I was skipping school, I would watch.
The noir.
Yeah, that and what's the one Brian De Palma did with the porn and the guy living in the weird house?
Body Double.
Body Double.
Yeah, Body Double. That was good.
The lady from Dallas, naked.
It was a creepy movie.
It was a creepy movie. Jade, another turd.
That was terrible.
And Chaz Palminteri and David Caruso. That movie killed David Caruso's career before CSI Miami saved it.
Me and my friend, we went to the movies to see that.
You saw that in the theater?
Yes. Yeah. And and my friend was afterwards, there was this line in the movie where the lady, she was telling him about Jade and about her sexual appetite. And she said she couldn't get enough of it. And it was so stupid. And when she said it in the movie, my friend died laughing in the middle of the theater. And so we would say that to each other all the time. Anytime you like something, she'd go, she couldn't get enough of it. She couldn't get enough of it.
Well, rest in peace. I forgot one. Sorcerer. What the hell's that movie? Looks like Patton Oswalt's in it.
No, he just wore that shirt.
Oh.
It's a Roy Scheider movie. You should watch it. It's good.
Roy Scheider. He's in it?
Yeah.
When is it from?
77.
Yeah.
Okay. Feels like it came out in 1992. I'm like, nah, I'm not watching that.
No, good Friedkin. It's like his good era when he was still making good stuff.
I'll watch it. He has a movie coming out now or something that just came out recently that he finished before he died. So rest in peace to the late, great William Friedkin.
Your mother sucks cocks in hell.
You know, my mom said that she read that book, which she was in The Exorcist.
The book that The Exorcist is based on.
Yeah.
It's error.
Oh, she didn't sleep for weeks. So when it came out as a movie, she was like, she would never, ever even figure. And I was banished to never watch it. Of course, I somehow watched it at like a sleepover when I was 10 and completely ruined the rest of my childhood.
Have I ever told this story? I probably have on here. I watched Amityville Horror at Jeff's house.
Oh, the good one?
Yeah. The one with James Brolin and Margot Kidder.
Yeah.
You know, there's that pig that
Jody. You scared Jody.
Yeah. So when you left Jeff's house, there's a cemetery right across the street from Jeff's house. Behind the houses that are across the street, there's a cemetery there. So that's scary enough. This is late at night. Not late at night, but, dark. So I leave and I'm walking up the house. Just watched this movie with the fucking pig in it. And there's this house on the corner of the street that had an electronic garage door opener. And I'm just I look in, and what do I see? 2 bright red eyes staring right at me. I ran all the way home from there. I think I may have peed a little bit. But it was weird to see that afterwards. But yeah. In The Exorcist, I watched when I was a little kid, and it scared me. Anything with religion scared me. The Exorcist, The Omen, the 2 Omen movies, not the third one. Third one's terrible. But the first one, oh my God, that music and
yeah, that original Omen, that was like a staple, for Halloween to watch when you were a kid.
I did it for you, Damien.
It's all for you.
And those dogs. They made those dogs are probably super nice, those Rottweilers, but they're always like the bad dogs, the hateful dogs. I don't know, Steph, you're the dog lady. Are Rottweilers nice?
I don't fuck with them really. I mean, a lot of people that really like them a lot. And if you tell me, and I know for sure that it is sweet, like I know it's a sweetie,
right?
Okay, but if I don't know, I don't fuck with them because their PSI on their bite. If they bite your ass, there's a guy at the shelter who volunteered, and he's so skilled with like Rotties, any kind of big breed dogs like that. And he thought that he knew this dog, and they took him out to like take some pictures, and he didn't realize that this dog had like a head shy kind of thing going on. And that dog bit him so hard it broke his radius and his ulna. And and it like didn't want to let go. It wasn't like mauling him, but it just didn't want to let go. So they finally like tickled the timbals, and it let go finally. I mean, he wasn't like continuing to attack, but that was his warning. Let me break your fucking arm. That's your warning.
So all sorts of wonderful things going on with the DC universe. We're all excited for that, I'm sure. A whole bunch of movies and television shows. They're going the Marvel route, but the good thing is that Disney's not producing them. So there's a chance that they might not suck. There's always hope, is there not? Another Superman movie comes out, and this all starts next year, by the way. July 11th. Maybe, yeah. Well,
because of the strike.
Probably not. Superman Legacy will be the first movie, and it'll be young Superman, but it will not be an origin story. So that is a good thing. This will be Superman meeting other the superheroes. And who's playing Superman in this? Do we know?
They said, I don't remember the guy's name.
Yeah,
but he looks just like Henry Cavill.
Yeah. This is a sad one. Supergirl World of Tomorrow. Now I know they've turned Supergirl into, some kick-ass short-haired whatever. Supergirl has always been blonde who wears a skirt, but that's just my preference. I thought Melissa Benoist did a good job on the TV show.
Yeah.
Supergirl World Woman of Tomorrow.
And you better be glad that they didn't call it Super Person.
Odds are I won't see any of these movies anyway. I'll see them when they come out, wherever they come out. I'll see Supergirl when she comes out. But anyway, it's going to be a science fiction-based type of movie. The Brave and the Bold, which is not a soap opera. It is the name of the Batman and Robin movie. Directed by Andy Muschietti, who did The Flash, and based on a Grant Morrison comic book.
Well, that's the only upside to that, is it's based on Grant Morrison's work. He did the best stories for almost any of the Batman runs.
Batman and Robin. A couple more Swamp Thing. That'll probably be dark. The Authority, Wildstorm characters, whoever the hell they are joining the DCU. There's some interesting TV series coming out. Not super interesting to me. Is Paradise Lost, Wonder Woman prequel. Yay.
Didn't they already do that in the Wonder Woman movies?
Yeah, kind of.
Oh, man. Why would they even bother? Creature Commandos with Amanda Waller. I like to call it How to Get Away with DCU or something stupid like that. Waller, another series featuring Waller. And then two that I know Jeff's looking forward to, and I think I'll probably watch these, Booster Gold and Lantern. So Booster Gold will be about Booster Gold. And who is Booster Gold, Jeff, if people don't know who Booster Gold is?
He's a superhero from the future that was like famous for being a superhero.
Oh, okay.
He has a time machine.
I drew a Booster Gal and sent it to DC Comics, and they wrote me a letter back saying, we can't do that, and then they did it. Fucker.
Yeah.
And Lanterns, I guess, is going to be about the Green Lantern Corps, right?
The Corps, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. That's cool. So it'll be a bunch of different ones. Will they be fighting that yellow guy?
Sinestro, maybe.
Yeah. I could tell Steph's really into Sinestro.
Listen, I watched Guardians 3 this weekend, and
Good. I haven't seen it yet.
I mean, it's good, but I
watch it
just
this
don't care anymore. I just don't give a shit.
I didn't like all the Rocky stuff.
And it was too sad for me.
Yeah.
That's not what I come to Guardians for, is that bunch of sad shit. It was too fucking sad. And I don't like that. And I don't like to get upped. They did the same shit to me with Up. I'm fucking bawling in like 15 minutes into that movie. I don't like that crap. I you know what I did rewatch was James Gunn's Suicide Squad. I love that. That's like one of my favorites.
I think that one's good. Is that the one what's his face gets killed right at the beginning?
Yeah.
Yes. Pete Davidson.
Yeah.
All of them get killed right at the beginning.
Yeah. I mean, it's so good. I love that movie. But yeah, Guardians, and it's just kind of like Peter's a bit long in the tooth now. He's not the young upstart anymore, and
right.
Just didn't really get. But that's really what it is. I just have a little bit of fatigue.
Yeah, superhero fatigue, Star Wars fatigue.
It's a Mario.
I only like the superhero stuff is if it's mean, like like our The Boys and like Invincible and shit like that.
There's a Invincible spin-off cartoon. There's one episode out. Did you watch it?
I saw that. Yeah, I don't get to watch it.
That's very good.
I'm gonna watch it.
It's like a prequel because it takes place leading up to the beginning of the first episode of Invincible.
It's on Prime, right?
Yeah.
Isn't the new Boys ready to go?
Yeah, I think that they're allowed to work on it because it's in Canada or something.
Oh.
Well, I think it's exempted, maybe.
We had to make our own superhero movie.
About the Red Box?
Yeah, Red Box.
Red Box.
Comes a superhero.
I think he'd be a good superhero. I think he'd be a villain.
Yeah, but that'd be the fun of it, He'd be like the, what was the one with the bad kid, with the bad Superman when he was like a little kid? Little son of a bitch, Brightburn.
Oh, that was also James Gunn.
James Gunn movie.
Yeah. This was, James Gunn just needs to do all of them. So I'm glad he's taking over DC. I probably will watch a lot of those movies.
Oh, yeah. He's the reason why I'll watch 90% of that is going to be just because it came from him. I mean, he's what they needed was a breath of fresh air for.
And you'll see Sean Gunn in every one of these movies.
And Blue Beetle, that's a DC property, right?
It is.
It is.
How come if it's a DC property, how come the Blue Beetle was fighting Spider-Man on the Electric Company?
Yeah.
Was that before DC had the rights?
Era when there was DC and Marvel were both owned by the same people.
Not in 1970s, they weren't.
They might have been.
Really? I didn't think they were. We'll look into it. Somebody said they're going to make oddball Barbies.
Well, it's the weird Barbie, I guess, from the movie. Kate
Okay.
McKinnon's character.
Kate McKinnon.
Yeah, it's her character. She's the weird Barbie. So they're making a weird Barbie.
What's weird about her?
She's just, she's like.
Okay, I can explain. I can explain. Have you seen the picture of the weird Barbie?
No.
Okay, there's a link right there. Click, and it'll show you a picture of the weird Barbie.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me that they did not take the weird Barbie from Phyllis Diller.
Oh, let me see this.
Yeah, you're right about that.
Oh, yeah.
Holy shit, that's Phyllis Diller.
Mhm. This sure is.
EDI. The boots, the big 70s dress. So this is going to be the... Okay. I get it. It's better looking than Kate McKinnon, though. So I think they should make other Barbies. I put some in here. Do you want me to read them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And yes, whoever put the question in here, the red box will try to nub on any of these Barbies. That motherfucker is not real Barbie. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I want that.
Yeah.
I just picture her. She just always has her finger pointed.
Yeah. With gigantic boobs.
Pointing at Carrot Top.
Yes. That's who she was talking about.
You stole my earbuds.
People found out about her, though. They found her name.
Yeah.
Some marketing. Her name is Tiffany Gomas. She's a marketing executive from Dallas. And I don't want to keep saying that MFer, but I wonder why she was she embarrassed, do you think? Or do you think she went, okay, I'm going to take down all my social media, get my ducks in a row, get an agent, and then I'm going to come out and be the TMFINT lady.
I mean, maybe she was having an episode. I think she took...
There wasn't Ambien or something?
Something, or maybe some peyote. I don't know. She took something, I think, and it turned on her. Could be a strong gummy. Who knows?
Strong gummy, lizard person, same thing. There very well could have been a shapeshifter. You don't know. All the UFO talk, shapeshifter.
Very possible.
Lizzo's banana in the vag Barbie.
So do you put the banana in, or do you, if you pull it out, what's happening?
It's like hungry hippos, and there's little bananas rolling around.
Just feed them.
That, but it's a play set. It looks like an Amsterdam strip club, and it's Lizzo and her friends, and they all make the Christian girl eat the banana out of the stripper's vagina.
I like it better if it's just Lizzo with a banana in her vagina, and you just got to feed her. You got to feed her vagina bananas.
You got to find the
Lizzo. Hungry Lizzo. I just tell somebody today, I think one of the first memories I have of Jeff is playing Hungry Hippos at his house on East Main Street.
Wasn't that the game that would always almost inevitably get your ass beat at some point because you wouldn't put it up and your parents had told you fucking enough.
I didn't have it. I was too poor.
Oh, well.
I had to make my own Hungry Hippos out of, old coffee cans and BBs.
I don't remember having hungry hippos on East Main Street. I remember having Rock'em Sock'em Robots.
I remember the first time I ever played, and I was because I saw it. I think your games are on top of a refrigerator in your kitchen in that room, in that house. Could be wrong. That's my memory. Greta Thunberg Barbie. It's made out of recycled, non-hideous Barbies. And it doesn't come in a box. It's just in a bin, and you pick it up, and I think you just scan it, and it lectures you.
Seriously, is you push a button on the back, and it just goes, climate.
How dare you? How dare you? Take its hands off. How dare you? How dare you? That's all it says is, how dare you? Caitlyn Jenner Barbie. Gosh, it's about time. I hope it's anatomically correct, but like the Ken or the Barbie, there'll be nothing in the crotch area. But Caitlyn Jenner Barbie would be great. I get a place set and everything, and a car with dents in it, and
you run over all the other Barbies.
Barbie Corvette.
I run them over, and then I go support Donald Trump, and I wear all of my gold medals around my neck. I won a bunch of gold medals when I was Bruce Jenner. And it also comes with an action chip cycle because I was on chips. Remember when I was on chips? Well, I wasn't. Bruce was on chips. I was inside of Bruce at the time, but, wouldn't it be cool to see Caitlyn Jenner riding in a dress on a chip chopper? That was some hot shit. Cardi B Barbie called the Cardi Barbie. It comes with the Whap and Mop playset.
And a microphone you can throw.
Yeah. Hey, I'm on her side in that. I am totally on Cardi B's side.
The Kung Fu microphone throw?
Yes. I can't do an impression of her. But you do get the mop, and you also get macaroni in a pot, so you could... QAnon Barbie, it still hasn't given up the belief, and it hasn't stopped trusting the plan. It has 2 or 3 Trulies or White Claws and starts telling you how a cabal of insiders is taking down the deep state and to trust the plan, and that Donald Trump is still the president, and Joe Biden, by the way, is the president of the now bankrupt U.S. corporation, and Donald Trump is actually the president of the United States. That's That's what QAnon Barbie will tell you about.
Does she have on the horns hat?
No, that's her boyfriend. The boyfriend.
That's her kin.
Sold separate.
Her Kenanon.
Yes.
Can you get a JFK Jr. Ken?
Yeah, the JFK, that comes with an airplane. And you can throw it in your pond. Now, the QAnon Barbie, though, will tell you all the conspiracies. Okay? And she'll probably would hang out with TMFINT Barbie. They'd be friends. But really, QAnon Barbie is going to be a collector's item, I think. If you take QAnon Barbie to a park and she sees a black family having a cookout, she will call the cops.
Could she be called Barbie-Q?
I like Barbie-Q. That's better.
Perfect.
Barbie-Q, the QAnon Barbie. Half Karen, half QAnon. She doesn't trust any minority.
Do you know that we should make this because it would sell, because these idiots would buy it?
Make Barbie great again.
Make Barbie great again. There we go. Make Malibu great again. Malibu Barbie. Make Ken a man again. Fleshlight Barbie. That speaks for itself. Just makes
yeah, they probably already have that.
Barbie.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And with reservoir tip. Yeah.
No, it's a fleshlight Barbie would be one you couldn't put anything into because Barbie is.
But that's your kink.
Yeah.
You can't get in. That's what gets you. That's what gets you jazzed up.
Right.
There's no entrance.
Like that redheaded girl on True Blood who was a virgin. Never mind. You know what I'm talking about?
I never watched it, really.
Neo Vagina Barbie is the same as Caitlyn Jenner Barbie, so we can skip that. Zombie Barbie, Influencer Barbie. What other Barbies? Did you guys have any? Are we done with the Barbie talk?
I think you covered the best ones.
Barbie-Q.
Barbie-Q is the ultimate.
What other stories have we got on here? Cheese at the feds. So why is it a federal thing? An Italian cheesemaker was fatally crushed by thousands of wheels of cheese. That's terrible. What happened?
I just put that in there because I decided that's how I want to be. How I want to go out.
That's how you want to go out? A bunch of cheese wheels?
I applaud that, Jeff. That's a hell of a way to go.
You would want to be. Would you rather that or drown in cheese sauce?
No, I don't want to drown in cheese sauce. I just want to be pummeled to death by thousands and thousands of pounds of cheese.
I see where you're coming from. I get it. I understand. I would not like that. Jeff wants to be crushed by wheels of cheese. I would rather drown in cheese. Steph, how would you die by cheese?
By cheese? Oh, I definitely probably eat so much of it to where I had caused a bowel obstruction.
Okay.
And then it just, exploded like that little poltergeist girl, like something like that would happen to me.
Sure. Dustin?
I think I'm just going to go back to freebase and Parmesan. That's going to be the way I go.
Like Hunter Biden.
Yeah. Well, that's the Hunter Biden how-to freebase Parmesan is what I've been reading. So I think I'll just follow that up. And
I like that.
Yeah. Me too. I bet it smell good too.
It does at first, but after 5 or 6 hits, you don't smell anything anymore. So it doesn't really matter.
Okay, well, that's a horrible way to die. So the Runaway Train, you guys remember Runaway Train? Soul Asylum, they were a band that had some hits in the early era of alternative music. They got a lot of play on MTV. I'm sure they got a lot of radio play. Runaway Train.
When Minneapolis was Seattle before Seattle was Seattle.
I thought Minneapolis was Seattle after Seattle was Seattle.
No, Minneapolis was first.
No, that's right, because you had the replacement. But they got their Soul Asylum got popular after Seattle because I remember they played them on MTV. Yeah. They had good albums.
Kevin Smith helped a little, I think.
Huh?
Yeah. Didn't Kevin Smith help break Soul Asylum big?
Well, he helped break them again because they were actually before Seattle. They had a record deal and did 2 albums, and then the record company dropped them, and then Seattle hit, and then they got picked up again. And when they got and then Kevin used them for for Clerks. They wanted to make a video, and so they basically spent I think 1 day shooting at the store and shot recreated some scenes from Clerks and added in the band and had them playing around there. So that was kind of synonymous with them, but what you're talking about, this has always been in the back of my head. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, so this song, so they say the Runaway Train is a song about kids who've run away, right? And the claim was always that they saved 21 kids, the music video. It rescued a bunch of missing children, things like that. But I guess it's not true. Dustin, do you know the background of this?
Well, it's not that it's not true. They documented only one that was actually saved, and the rest of them they did find a lot of them. The article that you're pulling this from, this guy went around trying to find some of them. Now, all these people that were saved from this music video, all these milk carton kids, and what he found out was there's two sides to every story, and that's the big thing I took away from it. A lot of these kids, they were leaving places like bad homes and bad situations.
They wanted to be out of there.
Yeah, they didn't. It wasn't that these people weren't ever found, but you told they were. It was a fact that some of these kids were leaving for the better. To be away from some of these abusive parents or abusive family and home situations. And I guess some of the band, even when they got really popular with this, Clinton had them play at the White House, Chelsea.
Soul Asylum, they're my favorite band. I love them so much. They're great. Hillary loves them.
But they got so huge that when they were doing meet and greets, he said, the lead singer said, this one blonde at a meet and greet one time just walked up to the table and said, "Thanks for ruining my fucking life."
Oh,
and it was a girl. It was one of the girls from the video that was on there. She, all these, so everybody thinks all these runaways, but a lot of them were just people that were trying to get away from a bad situation, and that was her story, that she was just leaving an abusive family and didn't want to get found.
Yeah,
story like that in the news recently. Some girl had gone missing and they found her. She's like, I don't want to fucking go back. I'm happy where I am. Stop it.
Yeah, a lot of these kids, nobody was even really looking for them.
Yeah,
they just been reported missing, and they just snacked up a picture and threw it in there.
And it was a push more from the record label, who was the director of the video had this idea for the milk carton kids to be in the video, and that way we could circulate. So he had the idea of what he wanted it to be, and then when corporate got involved, they were like, okay, we can have a video version for England and a video version for France, and put all these missing kids in it. And that was the motivation, and it became more about that than it became about the song, because the Soul Asylum will tell you the song has nothing to do with runaway kids.
Right.
It's actually about being depressed and just being in a downward spiral and having nothing else left to do. But the director of the video had the idea he thought runaway was runaway, and it's not. It was the other meaning of runaway, like a runaway train. And
I just pictured all these grizzled Gen Xers that are just living life like we are now. They have jobs, families, all this crap, and they ran away once they were 16 and came back when they were 17, and forever they're in this fucking video.
Yeah, and that's the story for the majority of them. Yeah, like a good percentage of them. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, at least none of those kids were when a hawk dropped a snake on their arm and then ended up getting in a fight on her arm with a fucking snake. You see this story?
It's in Texas.
So
I know.
This is going to be Tim's backyard next week.
I know. We have hawks. I hear a red-tailed hawk every morning.
He's going to pick up that copperhead that's lurking around your backyard, and then Tim's going to be mowing the lawn.
I've seen this happen.
Guy.
You've seen this happen, a bird. I mean, that's a one. She was either going to get that or win the lottery.
Yesterday. Yeah, well, the fact that it landed on her, she should win the lottery. But, I mean, there's been plenty of times I've been in some of the rural areas and where you have fields, and you'll look up and you'll see a bird flying, and you're like, what in the hell? And it's carrying a snake. I mean, that happens a lot. So, and you see them drop, too. So it's like, I've always been like, man, it sucked to be under that. But then to have not only be under it and have the snake fall on you, but then have the hawk come back after the snake like this lady and just tear her up.
Then she's got the snake striking at her face, striking at her thing. Then the hawk's trying to get the snake off her arm.
Right.
I mean, this total National Geographic thing happening on her body.
All tore up. Her whole arm is just...
You need like Sir Richard Attenborough narrating in the background.
This is the YouTube video that we never got, and I want to see.
When hooks drop the dreaded snake, we'll come back for it and tear your arm. Well, Looks like we're having hawk for dinner. Hey, we'll be right back with views of Snooze and our staff picks. Don't go no place.
Hi, it's Tim here from Radio Labyrinth. I'm going to read an ad, and I hope you enjoy it. I'd like to say thank you to Atlanta Pizza in Euro, our longtime sponsor, and thank you to Mike Hall and everyone at the restaurant. Summer is in full swing, and we have some local craft beers for you to enjoy. Terrapin Brewing's Watermelon Gosa is a tasty, refreshing sour ale that's a thirst-quenching delight served ice-cold on draft. Sounds good, doesn't it? They've also added another tasty local brew, Creature Comforts Classic City Lager. Sounds tasty. That is also now available on draft. They also have Landshark Lager to round out their updated summer beer selection, and I expect we'll be getting a new slew of beers just in time for fall. Pumpkin Spice anyone? Atlanta Pizza in Euro serves up the best freshly made Greek and Italian specialties around in an authentic retro dive pizza place with a come-as-you-are, family-friendly atmosphere. Now, come-as-you-are and family-friendly are the key things to figure out here, because come-as-you-are means one thing, family-friendly means another, but you put them together, they work perfectly. Dine-in and take-out available, limited delivery also available through Slice, DoorDash, Grubhub, and Uber Eats. If you're a business or corporate client who's looking to book a food truck for your next private event or catered luncheon, please contact Mike Hall at Atlanta Pizza in Euro by calling 770-483-6228. Okay? I don't even know where I'm looking here. Open for dine-in and takeout Monday through Friday, 11 to 9, Saturdays 12 to 9, and closed on Sunday. Hey, do you have a commercial or residential construction printing need? Well, what are you waiting for? Contact LDI Repro Printing of Athens. They've been in Athens, Georgia since 2005 with fast turnaround and affordable prices. Call 706-316-9366 or email them at athens@ldiline.com.
Views. Or.
Snooze.
Last week was Winning Time, which
I forgot about.
Yeah, season 2's pretty good so far. One episode.
The whole thing up, or just one or two episodes?
Just one.
Okay.
Only Murderers. I watched the first 2 of those.
I did too.
Very good.
Mm-hmm.
Paul Rudd.
Should I be embarrassed that I'm not watching it?
Oh yeah.
Is Paul Rudd, or is he a character?
No, he's who would he? Jim Carrey, maybe.
Okay, that type of character.
Yeah, famous actor, real famous actor. That's what you need to know about Paul Rudd.
What was the name of his movie? The cop one?
Cobras or something.
Cobras, yeah.
He's a dude that turns into a cobra.
But he's also a cop, right?
Yeah.
All right, I'll get into it maybe.
And then Strange Planet on Apple TV, which I started to watch it, but then the power went out and my TV stopped working, so I didn't get a chance to watch it.
So what do we get this week?
This week, Alone, Australia starts on history. This has already run in Australia.
So with they're Australians doing it?
Yeah, it's Australian people doing Alone.
In their own country?
Yeah, I think it's set in Australia.
Okay, is it good?
I'm going to watch it. It starts this week.
Yeah, I think I'll give that a views. I still haven't finished the most recent season.
No, the most recent season still has 2, maybe 3 episodes to go.
Yeah, I got bored with it. Am I a dummy?
Yeah. It's down to 3 people now.
And one of them's from our state, right?
Yeah, one of them's from Georgia.
I guess I better get caught up. It's just so much TV to watch.
Yeah, Billions final season starts this week on Showtime. Anybody going to watch that?
Binge all that like I did Succession? I don't know. Succession was so fucking good.
Yeah.
No, done with it. After Bobby left, I was done.
He's back this season, though, for the final season.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, then I'm back in.
Yeah, there you go. That's my thoughts exactly.
Okay.
And then Depp versus Heard, the documentary on Netflix, starts this week.
That needed a documentary. No thanks.
Mm-hmm.
No, nobody wants to get into that.
No.
It took forever last time.
Yeah, we already know all this. ad nauseum.
Can't they just let me be Jack Sparrow? I mean, I would like to be Jack Sparrow again. Hey, Steph, you got a staff pick?
I do. I should be doing this unless I whatever reason decide to get up and I don't feel like going. But the movie that's coming out this weekend, The Last Voyage of the Demeter, and it's a horror movie.
Dracula movie.
Yes. So it's a Dracula movie, and they're saying the early whatever reviews of it, they said it's finally a movie to make Dracula scary again. And it's got Corey Hawkins from The Walking Dead, and it's got Stavros from Game of Thrones.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's about the first transportation of Dracula to America.
From Transylvania to
From
America.
Transylvania. They're on the ship.
And
they're all... Yeah, so it's like, it's like a bottle type of situation where they're on that ship and they can't get off of it, and then he's just like tearing people apart.
It's like the Rogue One version of the Dracula world. You always heard about the trip, but you never knew the story because it was he got on the ship and then the ship arrived empty in London, and so you're with everyone dead. So it's the story of what happened while they were at the sea.
So it comes out this Friday, and so we were talking about going to see it Saturday. I hadn't bought the tickets yet, but I'm gonna do it.
Oh,
yeah.
Awesome.
Mine's Painkiller on Netflix. This is Peter Berg's new series about the opioid epidemic based on a book. I like Peter Berg.
I just finished Friday Night Lights.
Yeah.
I almost cried. Coach Taylor.
Yep.
She's my dad.
Is that the I Don't Want Your Life show?
No.
No, that was the movie. You're thinking of the movie Varsity Blues.
Yeah, Varsity Blues.
I don't want your life.
I don't want your life.
We do it my way, old school. By the way.
No, you're thinking of the line from Friday Night Lights. The movie would have been like, "Can you be perfect, Billy Bob? Can you be perfect?
Can you be perfect?
My favorite line from almost any movie of all time is, "Can you fly, Bobby?
Can you fly, Bobby?
The Friday Night Lights line is something like, can't lose something.
No, clear eyes.
Clear eyes, strong hearts, can't lose something. Yeah.
Clear eyes, full hearts, can't lose."
But Peter Berg's a good director, and I think this is going to be interesting. Also produced by Alex Gibney, which he did like a lot of stuff.
This looks good. Taylor Kitchen, and it's fine.
Yeah. I think it looks good.
It does. I just think it's so real. And, for a lot of us that have had people that have been affected by it, that's why they say it's hard to watch.
Yeah, it's not going to be entertainment viewing, I don't think, but
they really,
it'll be really good.
They go after what company is it?
The people are making fentanyl, I'm sure.
Yeah, but the company. Those
the
big
OxyContin people.
Yeah, those rich assholes. The
family.
Yeah, so I forget what the family's name, but Matthew Broderick plays the guy, right? The dude from The Family.
Okay. That's my stat pick. And Steve Martin Short on Fly on the Wall this week is pretty good. It's chaotic.
Yeah. Is it good, or does Martin Short just talk and talk?
No. Martin Short doesn't talk a lot. And
Steve talks actually a lot.
Steve talks a lot, and that's what's cool about it. But it's kind of just chaotic because none of them are in the same room.
Yeah.
So it's like this, where,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Except I think our vocal mix is a little better.
I love Steve so much. He's so subtle on Only Murders.
Yeah.
Documentary that comes out, it'll already be out when the show comes out on Paramount Plus. It's called All Up in the Biz. It's a documentary on Biz Markie and his life. And it's just, a bunch of celebrities, a bunch of hip hop legends that just talk about him and how much he was a great guy to be around and just really fun, and kind of made a legend out of him by just being himself, which I always liked about him. And that comes out tomorrow on Paramount Plus.
Cool.
Sounds like that documentary has what you need.
You got what I need.
Mine is a podcast I've already listened to. It's the Harlan Highway Podcast with Harlan Williams, and his guest was Corey Feldman.
Oh, no way. That's going to be a good one.
Yep. A lot of Michael Jackson talk and a lot of Corey Feldman. So
him putting on that mask.
Yeah, God damn it. That was so funny. Don't spoil it.
I haven't yet. I will. I just haven't yet.
Okay. Well, can I just spoil it? Can we tell you what?
Yeah, go ahead. Tell me.
He goes, Harley Williams like, one of your old coal stars is here. But he puts on it sloth.
Yeah.
And Corey has a great reaction. You know, I don't really, a lot of people hate Corey Feldman for some reason, and I can't ever find a reason to hate him. I mean,
no.
Managed to stick with it all these years and stay in showbiz. And, you know, I'd love to interview the guy. I don't want to talk about anything. I just want to talk to him about his career. And maybe we could talk about the Frog Brothers.
I just wish his movie that he made would actually appear somewhere.
He talks about that. So I won't spoil that for you or anyone. Okay. All right, that's it for the show. Let's talk about Barkville.
Nothing going on this weekend that I know of. But you know, little Paulie's going to his, my foster Paulie's going to his Walnuts home on Monday.
Yeah.
And then I got to wait just to make sure that they're definitely going to adopt him, which of course they will because he's perfect. But and then I go to Michigan, so I won't get another foster until I get back till probably like mid-September. But if you can at all, please like us on Facebook, Barkville Dog Rescue, on Instagram, share our posts. Like if you can't donate, if you can't foster, if you can't adopt, any of that stuff, volunteer or whatever, just if you would just like our page and share our stuff and make people sad and make them give us money. We really appreciate it.
Did that birthday thing Dustin did do anything?
It did, yeah. I think, how much did you raise? Like a couple $100? Did you?
Yeah, it was like 200. Yeah, it was like $200.
Yeah.
I was thinking about doing that for my birthday too.
They could definitely use it.
If you do, start the week before your birthday so that it ends on your birthday.
All right. Okay, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
See all the time. Yeah, exactly.
That birthday's coming up.
Yeah. So yeah, and anybody else too. Like if your birthday's coming up, please pick Barkville as your thing to raise money for, like Dustin did, and we really appreciate it. We need it so badly right now. I mean, we've been picking up all these dogs. They're all coming in starved. They're all coming in mangled. All of them are. I don't know what the fuck is going on and why they just don't give a shit anymore, but we do. So if you could, barkvilledogrescue.org. Woof.
All right. Thank you, Steph. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Dustin, for producing the show. Thank you, Jeff. I hope you guys are liking what we're doing with talking about stuff and having fun and riffing.
Let us know what show we should do for Patreon next.
Yeah, please do. Let us know. We have all those outlets. You can go to our Facebook. You can go to the Facebook Radio Shack. Just let us know. We'd love to do it.
And if not a show, give us an idea to do for Patreon.
Yeah, we want to entertain you, so
keep it canon.
Keep it canon. Keep it canon.